Aloha, I'm Kellie Nakahara, and here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Also, huge mahalo to Long Strugs Hawaii for sponsoring the show. Head on over to your neighborhood Long Strugs for all your shopping needs. Florida is bracing for catastrophe as Hurricane Ian moves across the state. Ian made landfall in southwest Florida as a Category 4 storm today after strengthening over the Gulf of Mexico. It was packing near Category 5 sustained winds of 155 miles per hour when it bore down on the coast close to Cayo Costa. Ian is expected to weaken as it heads inland, but central Florida could still see hurricane-force winds. Along with wind and rain, the hurricane is forecast to generate storm surges that could push 12 to 18 feet of water across more than 250 miles of coastline. About 2.5 million people were ordered to evacuate before the storm hit. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said the state has 30,000 linemen, urban search and rescue teams, and 7,000 National Guard troops ready to help once the weather clears. The Hawaii Department of Health is changing the way it tallies COVID-19 infection counts. Starting today, health officials are including reinfections in their weekly tally. Officials said reinfections were once rare, but now account for about 10% of new confirmed cases. The health department today reported 12,755 COVID-19 cases over the trailing week, including 10,995 reinfection cases that date back to September 2020. Including reinfections, Hawaii's total COVID case count now stands at 355,959. By island, there were 9,092 cases on Oahu, 1,802 on Maui, 1,240 on the Big Island, 534 on Kauai, 26 on Molokai, and 19 on Lanai. Another 42 cases were counted outside the state. Hawaii's average daily case count grew from 148 on September 28th to 164 today. The average positivity rate decreased from 5.7%, down from 6% last week. Health officials also recorded 7 deaths over the week, bringing Hawaii's COVID-related death toll to 1,686. A 31-year-old Lahaina man was arrested Tuesday in connection with a crime spree that began when he allegedly stole an occupied car. Police said the man entered a 2020 Nissan Armada in the Kahului shopping center at about 11:50 Monday morning. A 57-year-old Kahului woman was in the car with its engine running and doors unlocked. The man drove off with the woman and dog still in the vehicle. When he eventually let the woman out, he attempted to steal her bag and phone. Police located the suspect on Luavai Street in Lahaina at about 12:50 in the afternoon. During an ensuing chase through Lahaina, the suspect struck a bridge at Honolulu Bay and hit a vehicle on Kahikili Highway before he failed to negotiate a turn and crashed. The Maui Fire Department's Air 1 helicopter spotted the suspect after he fled on foot, but the police department was unable to find him in the brush. A search was called off that night and resumed the next day when officers saw a man taking a 1996 Ford Ranger from a residence in Waihe'e. He was taken into custody shortly after being located in Wailuku at about 6:10 Tuesday morning. Firefighters are working to extinguish a brush fire that has been burning in an area between Kahuku and Laie for over a week. The Honolulu Fire Department said firefighters are working alongside personnel from the State Division of Forestry and Wildlife and the U.S. Army to put out the brush fire that started on September 19th. About 180 acres have burned so far in the area above Po'oha'ili Street. Extinguishing the fire has proved challenging due to its hard-to-reach location. Ground crews face dangerous terrain, and heavy canopy in the area is hampering efforts from the air. The fire department said no structures are threatened by the brush fire. Russia is poised to formally annex parts of occupied Ukraine, where residents recently voted to live under Moscow's rule. Ukraine and its Western allies have called the so-called referendum a sham. Last week, armed forces went door-to-door with election officials to collect ballots in the regions of Zaporizhia, southern Kherson, Luhansk, and Donetsk. The results were widely ridiculed and characterized as a desperate land grab by Russia, which has faced embarrassing military losses in Ukraine. The Kremlin has largely ignored the criticism. Russia last week called up 300,000 reservists to fight in the war and warned it could resort to using nuclear weapons. The partial mobilization has triggered protests, violence, and mass exodus in parts of the country. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great day, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.